Hey y'all, welcome to Average Joe's Woodworking during these weird times. Um, got a lot going on. Watching the girls, been busy, haven't been able to upload anything. So, had some ideas, lots of tinkering around with stuff. Saw a cool idea, not sure exactly where, just stumbled upon it online. But yard dice for Yahtzee. And I had scrap wood laying around, some 3-inch posts. They actually ended up being 3.5 inch. So I used my sliding miter saw, cut out 5 equal 3.5 by 3.5 inch cubes. And then something simple, just top of a hand sanitizer bottle. Popped it on there, drew out or traced all the circles for the dies. So I thought I'd show a little wood burning because it started a little bit here. A little bit there. Time consuming. I'm gonna fire up the wood burner. Could be a soldering iron, but this is from Walnut Hollow. It's got a nice on-off switch, that way you don't just plug it in and all of a sudden it's on. So you choose when it's on with that one. So since I have all of these cut out, I took my orbital sander and I just sanded everything down. Wasn't too worried about everything being perfect, but just smoothed it down so you can go all over the place, hold it, without getting slivers, splinters. So there's that. While that heats up, I would first like to talk about what I do to my soldering iron. I kind of already did it, but after you can see it burning off excess stuff. But after you do some wood burning, it gets carbon buildup on there. So I take like a soft, spongy sanding pad, recommend you do this when it's off, but since I just turned this on, you just clean it up a bit, get the carbon off, and you're good to go there. I'm going to set this aside and let that heat up. But what crazy times we got going on right now. A lot of time at home, but not a lot of free time because, you know, being a daddy of 2 and all that, a lot of work. But nonetheless, find some time to myself. Got some chill music going on and gonna do some wood burning to finish these off. Didn't quite have the patience early on. This is pine, so it takes a bit more time to, because it's a hardwood, it takes a bit more time to go nice and slow to make sure it burns. Some softer woods burn a lot easier. You don't have to apply as much pressure to get a nice solid burn. There were some other methods that I thought would work for this, like taking a torch, taking a washer, heating up the washer with the torch, then placing the torch on each dot. But I thought it would be more accurate I suppose, to draw them out first, and more relaxing to just go around and burn each individual one. I'm doing the outline first with my precision, I call it, just because it's got a sharp tip on it and I have good control with that. But I have another one which is chisel tip and it's got the flat side there. And that afterwards, after I get those all done, and go through and with the flat part just make that all filled in. Be nice and easy. I'm watching that heat up. Safety for wood burning. You don't need a glove. I recommend it. It's hot, so you're holding this. And you obviously don't try and get your fingers in the way. But if you're working and whoop, 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 you don't burn your skin. That's important. You can wear safety glasses if you want. You don't have to. I'm gonna test this out. It's just a scrap piece of cedar post. Just press and hold there, and I can judge how long I have to put it there to get a good burn. I'm looking for not having to touch very long to get a burn, so we're heated up pretty good there. So it might be a little hard to see just from the height of this. But you traced out your lines. You're gonna have some smoke there. That's fine. Nothing that's gonna set a smoke alarm off. So you just want to do a nice continuous, slow flow, guiding it through, following the line. If you try and rush it, it's going to slide, but as it burns, you create a nice little burn groove, and that kind of locks the iron in place and allows you to have a bit more control. I got quite a bit of firm pressure going on. I'm just rotating around. I know it's hard to see that. So we got that. Now off to the other side here. This is the end grain of the wood, which makes it a tad more difficult. Have to apply more pressure to get a burn going. Been lucky to be healthy, knock on wood. Knock on wood. Lucky to be healthy, but wife, on the other hand, has been battling this for a solid 6 days now. So same thing. Yeah, this end grain, sometimes the grain of the wood, even though you're applying pressure, will force you off of your line. You want to be careful with that because Well, it's a hot iron, and if you got too much pressure going on there and you don't stop yourself, you'll end up making a burn off your line. And then you end up having to sand that off later, which will end up taking the shape off of your cube that you're trying to do here for these dice. Now I'm not going to do all of these, because I think you get the idea. But you go around, this end grain is being pretty difficult. But it's always a learning experience, especially for me. I love doing this, but just starting out. So I appreciate y'all watching. See, you slip. It's kind of waxy almost. Once the oils of the wood gets kind of slippery, soapy even. So we got the other sides. I'm not going to do those. Got the other 4 to do. I'm going to shut this off. Always make sure you set it somewhere where it's not going to rest up against anything, because it will stay hot as it's cooling for quite some time. But I'm going to get my chisel tip out, and this one is plug and play. So same thing as I did with the other one. Just scrape off the carbon. A lot of these are copper tips. So you don't want to be too rough, you don't want to be too abrasive. You can change the shape, take off too much of the metal. So we got that. And this one kind of will just rest there. But it's been interesting while we wait for that to heat up. Broke my pinky toe this morning. Have a 4-year-old, and she's doing potty training. She's actually potty trained, but had some accidents, you know, the past couple of nights. Wet in the bed. And so my wife and I decided, hey, we'll do reward treats in the morning. You know, chocolate covered raisins or something. It's a treat to her. So this morning she had not wet the bed, dry all night, good stuff. So she was super excited. She wanted her treat. She wanted her undies, her dry undie treats. She was, Daddy, Mommy, kept my bed dry all night. All night, kept it dry. I want my treat. Can I have my treat? And this is like 7:30 in the morning. So we're sleepy and just trying to wake up and just hear her in the background. Oh, where's my treat? I need my treat. Get my treat. Well, Steph, my wife, finally said, hey, just get her treat. And I'm saying, like, no, 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. Like, 5 more minutes, Mom. Being woken up for school or something like that. So I finally get frustrated enough to get out of bed to get her treat. And I go stomping in, tired, stomping into the kitchen. my right pinky toe found the corner edge of our center island in the kitchen. Audible snap, and fell to the ground like a tree falling in the woods. It was not so fun. So that's kind of what I got going on. We got the watching the kids during all of this, and broke my pinky toe. I'll spare you photos. This is starting to smell hot. You can kind of smell that. Turn your smell-o-vision on. Just kidding. Stinky. Alright. So, test piece of wood. That's what I'm looking for. So, before I switch over to the piece I'm working on, light pressure, just slide back and forth with the flat part of that chisel tip, and you'll just end up shading. You can press harder and make it darker. So we'll start with the number 1. This iron burns a lot hotter. So just go through. Just keep it moving, try and keep everything uniform. Start out light and can always go darker if you want to. Suppose if I wanted to, I could go through and just do all of these with that shading method and just keep the circle. But I like the idea of, you can kind of see how it's recessed a little bit. You got that nice border line. I like that look better. We'll go through and just quickly shade the 6th spot here. Just keep it moving. One of those two different woods will take the heat differently, and you gotta adjust your pressure. And the grain of wood, it's like there's rolls all reduce. It's not perfectly smooth. In between each grain of wood, the soft spot burns, but the edge of the grain does not. So I like to flip the sides over. Let's see. But you see that carbon buildup on there. I'm going to be really quick with this because styrofoam, sandpaper there, but just freshen the tip up, that way it's stays as hot as it can be. And that, see, that made a huge difference. It's burning so much better now. Once you get that carbon up there, it works like a insulator, and it won't burn nearly as fast and hot as you would like it to. could get all sorts of creative with this too. I thought some of the other things aside from wood burning that I could do would be take a Forstner bit and drill the holes in and fill them up with epoxy, like different colors. But I thought about how much time that would take. I guess I have nothing but time at the moment, but mixing the epoxy and you'd have to lay it flat and fill up each hole and then let it cure and then switch to the other side and you multiply that by 5 for each side, 6 sides. Never the best at math, but it's a lot of time there. So we got the 1 and the 6 done. Now I'm going to unplug this bad boy. We're going to let it cool off. And with that though, I appreciate y'all tuning in, checking the channel out. Average Joe's Woodworking. If you like it, give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell if you want to see whenever new videos pop up. Haven't quite gotten the consistency down yet of uploading the videos, but we'll get there. So, just want to give you a glimpse on what I'm doing during this time. Hope y'all are staying safe and healthy and keeping a calm mind during all of this, because it's definitely not normal. Not normal times we got going on, but we will push through and be over as fast as it started. Take care, guys.